with Paranormal Gateway Paratalk. I'm Scott Wise, and tonight's guest is one and only Terri Jay, internationally known as the Cowgirl Shaman. Terri Jay is a renowned medical intuitive, spiritual coach, and energy healer who has had years helping clients uncover emotional, energetic blocks connected with physical illness, traumatic relationships, and spiritual growth. Through intuitive readings, chakra scanning, and guides from higher consciousness, Terri believes that unresolved emotional wounds can manifest in the body and true healing begins at the energetic level. From spirit communication, intuitive coaching, and connection between emotion and disease, tonight's conversation allows to dive deep into healing, consciousness, and the paranormal side of human experiences. Please welcome Terri Jay to the Paranormal Gateway for a Thought. Terri, how are you today?
Thanks so much for having me. It's great to be here.
Yeah, it's great having you on. So I read your book that you sent me, and it was awesome. So,
oh, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Well, yeah, I did. That one of the favorite parts I had is how you broke down each section into each part of the, as a way of doing your student sessions and stuff. I thought it was pretty cool. That way you go back into, for the grounding and the thing your chakra, that kind of stuff. So it's good, a how-to book too. So
yeah, I really like how-to books because too many people, when they're doing this work, they make it sound like it's all woo-woo and they're special. And I always joke and go, what, short bus special? I don't know. Because, everybody has these abilities and we turn them off in childhood. So it's just a matter of learning to turn them back on. It's just not a big deal.
Right. So when did you first realize that you had intuitive and spiritual abilities?
I was doing a horseback therapy program in 1990. And I picked a kid up out of his wheelchair and put him on the back of the horse. And he said, ouch, I have a cramp in my hip. So I looked at him and I said, you have a cramp? Well, here, sit this way. It'll take the cramp out. That's pretty common when you have CP. And he looked at me and he said, hey, you can hear me. And I said, well, of course I can hear you. It just didn't dawn on me that he was nonverbal. So we went about our business doing the horseback therapy. And he was talking the whole time to me and I was answering him. So the gal is leading the horse because I'm walking next to him and putting him through the moves. When we got done, I took him off the horse and he put him back in his wheelchair and he went back to class. And the gal that's helping me said, boy, he's sure talking great. And I missed the sarcasm. And I said, well, he's very bright. Just because he has CP doesn't necessarily mean that he has cognitive issues. And she said, Terri, he didn't say a word he can't remember. And I mean, if I was a horse, I would have done a butt fart snort. Because when they're spooked, they do all three of those things at the same time. So then I went into the classroom and they put a pointer around his head with a band around his head with a pointer, and he had typed out horse lady can hear me. So I had confirmation. So then I stood there talking to him and realized, okay, I'm hearing his thoughts. And he told me his mom communicates with him that way too. So to him, he was the expert. I was the neophyte, right?
Yeah.
So when I went back outside, the gal says, well, if you can, I told her what happened in the classroom. And she said, well, if you can hear him, you ought to learn to communicate with the horses because all animals are telepathic. And I was like an idiot. Okay, I'm going to do that. And there were no books at that time. No, Scott, there were no books on how to communicate with animals or anything. They were just, one that said, watch body language and posture. And then there was another book on how to be psychic, which I hate that word because it's so inadequate and really overused. And it's got a bad rap. And we shouldn't use it because it means none of the physical sciences. And all this work that I do, I believe, is based in physics, which is a physical science. Mm-hmm. So I just set about trying to do this work, and we always had a bunch of horses at the house. So it just got easy. And then I ended up sort of being friends with 2 energy healers, and they really helped me to heal because I was a mess. And they taught me to get out of ego. Ego means easing God out, and to not have you can't have an ego. It can't be about you. You're not the dog and pony show, literally. So they were very, very helpful in teaching me to just listen, and the only thing that people seem to miss on this, Scott, is how fast it happens. Even telepathy.
Mm-hmm.
Mentally, it sounds like this. Hey, did you, what about, are you, it's that fast. So if you try to have a normal conversation, like I talk, you wait, you talk, I wait, with animals or autistic kids or somebody in a coma, you're going to miss all of it. You're just going to miss it.
Wow. So that's how it became known as the Cowgirl Shaman.
Well, that I've only been there for a couple of years. I just thought, okay, so I'm Western. I'm a horse person. A lot of the readings I do are on horses, and shaman is a healer, and so all this work that I do is very, very healing. People they're never the same after they have their first reading. They really don't. And I have clients. I mean, at this 36 years, I have clients that I've had that I can pinpoint who they are. That I've had them for over 30 years.
Wow. That's a long time.
Yeah.
You must be doing something, right?
Yeah. Well, the big thing for me is to, share information that's going to be helpful in healing. Mm-hmm. And I never share negative things. Like, I'll give somebody a feeling like you kind of got to hurry and take care of this. But it's never like, oh my God, this one's going to die. I just don't do that.
God.
No. But I really love doing it. It's, I'm trying to get a TV show. I'm going to call it I Can't Make This Stuff Up. Only use the other word, the other S word.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's funny. So how would you describe a medical intuitive to somebody familiar with that?
It just sort of came in part and parcel of the whole thing. One of the energy healers that I worked with, she used to call me up and go, "Can you look at something?" And I'd always go, "We're on the phone." "Yeah, but can you look at something?" And the other thing too that she was really good at is she'd say, "Look in that horse and tell me what you see." And I go, "You can't look in a horse." "Well, why not?" "Well, because they got skin and flesh and bones, and you can't look inside." And then she'd say, "Well, what if you thought you could?" I went, "Oh, okay." And so I was able to just get rid of the belief that you can't. And then that's how I was able to start seeing inside of animals and humans. And it's kind of shocking. Just a couple months ago, I found a 5-pound enterolith in a horse. That's an intestinal stone.
Oh.
I mean, it was this big. It was huge.
Holy.
Yeah. And I told the gal, I said, "Your horse is insured?" "Yeah, we've got surgery insurance too." I said, "Okay." The horse was at one of the universities that had a great veterinary hospital. And I said, "I'm seeing a huge enterolith and lots of small ones." And she said, "They haven't seen it on the x-ray." I said, "I don't care." I said, "I promise you there's a huge enterolith and small ones." And they did surgery on the horse, and I heard just last weekend the horse came in second in a barrel race.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
So it saved his life, and not only did it save his life, he's back to winning. So I think that's great.
That's great.
Yeah.
They should have played the ponies that day.
Say again?
They should have played the ponies that day.
Yeah, it's and it's really interesting too because I can see stuff inside of people.
Oh no!
No, I'm not going to look. No, I have to have permission. I'm very, very ethical. I have really impeccable ethics. So I never look or pick up on something and share it. If, those mediums that go and ambush people with readings, that's so bad because you don't know how that's going to impact the person, and they could go home and kill themselves because of what you said. I mean, it's scary stuff. So I'm very, very ethical. I won't do a reading on somebody unless I have their permission. And even if I'm getting some, because I get stuff when I'm out all the time. I just had my hair done today, and I was in a beauty shop and going, oh, she's got that. Oh, that one's got that. Oh, no, that one's got that. So I'm picking up on all their disease processes, their emotional issues, everything. You just pick up on it.
Well, I was diagnosed about 10 years ago with ataxia. Cerebral ataxia. I've had that for 10 years.
Yeah. Would you know what the cause was?
I think it's hereditary.
Say again?
It's hereditary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You should do energy healing. Did I send you the energy healing instructions?
You might have. It's in the book.
No, it's separate. So email me and I'll send you the instructions and you can start working on it.
Yeah, I have to use a walker. I'm still tube feeding, so I'll do that for a while.
Oh, geez, that's no fun.
Yeah, well, you get used to it.
Yeah, but oh God, food is one of our greatest joys.
Yeah, I can eat some stuff.
Yeah.
First of all, I eat ice cream. I eat a lot of ice cream.
Oh God, that's my fave. My inner child insists on having ice cream 2 to 3 times a week.
Me too.
And then I pay for it. Because I can't eat ice cream.
My favorite is chocolate cookie dough.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Most of the time I just will make, cookies from the bowl of Toll House cookie dough and then just dump some ice cream on top of it. That's really good too. Yeah, we can't talk about food. I'll get hungry.
Yeah, I'm right there.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool. Can you explain what happens to run your empty scans or readings?
Are you asking if I do readings all the time?
Yeah, can you explain
how I do it?
What happens during them?
They're
readings.
I'll tell you, Scott, they're weird. They're weird. I mean, they're weird for me, and I've been doing it 36 years. So what I do is I do most of my work by phone. And so I just start every reading with, how can I help? And then they'll say, well, I've got a dog, or I've got a horse, or I've got a problem, or, I don't know what to do about this situation. So I do intuitive life coaching. And sometimes I'm talking to a parent who's got a nonverbal autistic child. And oh my God, those are some of my favorite, because I just want to bite those kids. They're so cute. Oh my God. Isn't that awful? It's a good thing I didn't birth any kids. I raised a couple, but I didn't birth any. Anyway, it's just so fascinating what comes through. So you just sort of get out of your own way. And like if I'm working with an autistic child, I'm connecting to that child. And sometimes they ask me what I smell like. Isn't that funny? Right? We most of you would think, how do you look, right? But they want to know how I smell. There's like 5 or 10 of them that have asked me that.
Yeah.
So I have to give them the smell of horses, because most of the time I smell like horses all the time.
Yeah.
But the things they tell me, I was talking to some kids, and they're being given like kindergarten and first grade work, and it's just dumb for them. They're like, can we step it up? And so that was very helpful to give that information to one of the parents and say, no, this is too basic. This kid's already reading, spelling, doing math, and you're at first grade level. No. That's up it a bunch. And it's been really interesting, because they'll get back to me and go, well, you were right. They start them on stuff like Nat Geo and just all kinds of stuff. And it just makes a huge difference in that child's life, because we have an expression in the autistic community called presume competence. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because just because they can't communicate doesn't mean that they're, a few fries short of a Happy Meal. Right.
Right.
So it's really fun. And I'll go, if we're doing horses, I ask the horse's name, barn name, age, what they're doing with it. Are there any problems that they're aware of? And it's so fun because guidance just comes through and goes, it's this or it's that, or fix this, or they haven't seen a chiropractor, and I get the solutions in many cases of what they need to do in order to help that horse. So it's really fun. And one lady called me and she's crying. This is my dog's 10 and I think I have to put it down. I said, what's the dog's name? She told me, and I went, this dog's in a lot of pain. I know. Well, why aren't you giving him pain meds? Oh, was he on a joint supplement? No. Well, is he on a chiropractic adjustment? What, for dogs? And so I gave her this whole thing of what to do with this dog that she thought she was going to have to put down. It just had, pain and arthritis, and, it's just sort of older and not great conformation. Anyway, I heard back from her and she said the dog's acting like a puppy. And this dog, it just needed some support. So I love it when I hear stuff like that. That's just great.
You love my dog. She turned 16 this year.
Oh, my Lord.
And she is like a puppy. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
She's funky. She does zoomies.
Oh, my goodness. What breed?
She takes us rocks.
What breed is she?
She is a mixture of Black Lab and Dachshund.
Wow. That's a weird one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make sure you get him to the chiropractor. It's really, really important.
Mm-hmm. She's doing really well, though.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, we had a lab that passed away. We had to put down. She was going on 17.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, but every time I talk about the ages of my animals, I hear guidance go, Terri, it's not a contest. And they just tell me all the time. It doesn't matter how old you get them. They have to have quality, and they're much more into quality than quantity.
Yeah, she's love. So I think I've to.
And when you put them down, it sucks for us and it's incredible for them. They pop out of their body, they do the wet dog shake, and they take off running, with the zoomies, because we forget that we and they, we're only 1% physical. We're 99% energy. So that energy has to go somewhere. We know the laws of physics, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of times, they go to the other side, which is right here, just it's a different frequency. And then as soon as you get another dog or cat or horse, they'll actually do a walk-in into that other animal because they want to be with you on the earthly plane. Isn't that cool?
Yeah. Cool.
So they always try to come back. And like the 2 puppies I have now, they about 3 spirits in that I can tell. Because I lost 3 dogs in 4 years, and then I got these 2 puppies. And it's amazing how they pick up these personality traits, Isn't that something?
Yeah, she's something else.
Yeah.
She's still spunky.
That's good. As long as they feel good and they act good, and I just recommend doing blood work, when they get older.
Yeah, we get that every few months. So.
Yeah. And the other thing too is chiropractic is really good for them. Mm-hmm. And there's actual real certified dog massage therapists. Mm-hmm. And they can make a huge difference in how that dog feels. We've got injections like Adequan and all kinds of joint supplements. And then if they have to be on medication for pain, it makes a huge difference for them. They feel so much better.
Mm-hmm. You're talking about in the book about when somebody was in a coma, and then like my grandpa, he wasn't doing well, helped himself for a while, and my mom was visiting one day, and he was real close to going, and she said she was there when he passed, and she said that his eyes lit up like, wow, like real excited and
Yeah,
smiling, and they
yeah.
go out.
Isn't that amazing?
But she said she knows there's something because when she saw that, yeah,
Yeah, so many people die with a grin on their face because they see where they're going.
yeah,
And I was talking to this lady that had passed, and I was doing a group reading for her family. Oh my God, it was so fun. Anyway, her and her husband and her grown adult son were all sitting on the sofa, and the husband and the son wanted to go outside to do something in the backyard. And while they were gone, she left her body. And it was really something because I said her eyes are big as saucers, like she's seeing everything for the first time. And the husband said, Terri, she was blind. I said, not anymore. She wasn't. Then she gave me a bunch of other details about, stuff that she had seen them do so that they would know that I was in fact connected to her. And she's yelling at me, yellow bricks, yellow bricks. And I said, okay, well, I said, she's saying yellow bricks. Do you know what that means? Because I'm thinking this is really stupid. And they all went nuts because they had just had like 9 pallets of yellow bricks delivered to their home in Hawaii to do the patio.
well,
And all this had been planned after she passed. So they thought that was so cool that she was very much, with them and present and knowing what they were doing and what trouble they were getting into and all that stuff. That was pretty amazing to me. And it was one of those things where I'm arguing with her. No, I'm not going to tell them that. No, you have to tell them that. No, that sounds stupid. I'm not going to tell them that.
yeah,
And thank goodness I did,
yeah. I think I get visitations or my journeys to my past relatives and stuff.
Oh, gosh, yeah. The big difference is when you have a visitation, it's vivid. It's like they're really there with you.
I have very vivid and
Yeah. It's really something. But I really love talking with people that have passed, and a lot of the pets that have passed tell me details that there's just no way I can know. It's like you were looking at her bed today and you were thinking about putting it away, and she says, no, she's going to come right back. So just leave the bed alone. It's fun stuff. And kitties that have passed, they'll tell me that there's all those little tiny fur mice under the sofa, and they couldn't get to them, but can they please save them because they'll be back for them. It's so cute.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So how do you separate your own thoughts from intuitive information coming through?
It just takes practice. And I joke and say, well, I'm not that smart. So if I'm getting guidance, I better listen to it. But, I'm really just making fun of myself. But the joke in our home is that if you say something stupid, you have to give up your Mensa card.
Oh, God.
That's the joke in our house. But anyway, it's just very different. It's not your voice. It's not your voice. And I'm always tuned in. I'm never, probably when I'm sleeping, I'm disconnected. But that's probably the only time I'm really, I really feel separate from my work and what's going on. So, and the other thing too, when you're talking with people that have passed, it's their voice. My mom and I have coffee together every morning at 8. Pardon?
Yeah, definitely.
It's their voice. It's not your voice, and it's not your thoughts. My mom always tries to get me to eat those 2-bite brownies. And my husband will come home with them. And I go, why'd you buy that? We're trying to watch our weight. And he'll just say, Mom said. So he's hearing my mom. She wants those 2-bite brownies. That's what she wants. And it's with coffee in the morning. That's when you're supposed to have it. But she always shows up about 8 o'clock. And she says, what are we doing today? And I go, what, you got a mouse in your pocket? What's the deal? I said, I'm working. Look at this schedule. look at the schedule. Look at the readings I've got. Look what I've got going on today. And she'll go, you'll do good. She always says something like that. But it's so fun because I asked a friend of mine who I trained to do this, and I've trained lots of people, but this happens to be a friend of mine that I trained. And I told her, I said, one time I said, I feel like I don't grieve enough. It's not being disrespectful, but I just feel like I don't grieve. And she goes, Terri, first of all, they're not gone. They're still there with you. And the other thing is, how can you grieve for something that's still here? And she says, and the other thing she says, she goes, and you know where they go. And she said, well, how could you be sad for them knowing where they go and what it's like there, right? Isn't that something?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Can I share something that's sort of a hot button?
Sure.
So there's a lot of TV mediums. And some of them even call themselves psychic mediums. And of course, I've already shared that I hate that word.
Mm-hmm.
I dislike it. I shouldn't say hate. But they all have the same issue with their work. One in particular will tell you what he believes you want to hear, which is terrible. Don't ever do that. Mm-hmm. And the other thing is they will share negative stuff. So I want to explain this. The other side is the God vibration. It's the highest vibration. God is love energy with the intention to create, right? Mm-hmm. So when we pass, only those things that are a vibrational match to source energy can go with us to the other side. So everything, suffering, unfinished business, regrets, lack of forgiveness, all of that stuff gets left behind in the earthly realm. Now, to a medium, that garbage looks like, feels like, and sounds like the deceased. But it's not them, it's their garbage. And they lack discernment. They can't tell the difference, or they don't tell the difference between positive and negative energy. And so they share this information as if it is coming from the deceased. And most of the time it's very hurtful and it's very upsetting. We have to be straight and upfront when we're getting stuff from spirits or souls or whatever we want to call it, the energy on the other side, because otherwise we're being unethical. We're truly being unethical. And every single TV medium does this. Every single one of them. They lack discernment, which means they are not going to tell the difference between positive and negative energy. And that's really, really bad. It's really bad. And one of them tells people what he thinks they want to hear. Well, if I'm going to visit with somebody, I'm going to know what they want to hear. And unless I'm getting it from a deceased person, their spirit, I'm not going to share it. And then I may even ask them, listen, do you want me to go dumpster diving and go into the garbage they left behind for that apology that you so desperately need? And most of the time they'll say yes. And then I dig around and root around in that garbage for that apology. And then I tell them all kinds of details about that apology that there's no way I could know. There's no way. So they're just doing a really bad disservice, when they do that. And because it's not true. If you're going to share this information and be a medium, at least be freaking honest about it. Because telling people lies or what they want to hear, or sharing negative things, like nobody on the other side knows how they died. And every single TV medium leads with that. Oh, I'm seeing a suicide, or, oh, I'm seeing a drug overdose, or, oh, I'm seeing a car accident. And I just want to yell, bullshit. No. If you're getting that, you're in the garbage. You're dumpster diving. Because, I've even asked people, so how did you leave your body? And they look at me like I'm an idiot. My heart stopped. And I'm like, You're an idiot, right? And so they really, really don't remember because, if their heart stopped, but their cause of death was cancer, they're not going to go, oh, yeah, I had cancer. It was really bad. They're going to go, my heart stopped and I flew out of my body. That's what happened. Isn't that cool?
Heck yeah. Yeah.
I just love doing it.
All right. See, you mentioned about having no ego through sessions. Why is that so important?
Because, my favorite joke is I'm the most humble. That's my favorite joke. Because the minute you say you're the most humble, you're not at all. Right? So that's my favorite joke. And, we sit around sometimes and go, I'm the most humble. No, I'm the most humble. Well, you're not. You think you're the most, right? So this is not about you. It's not about you being the dog and pony show. It's about helping people to heal with the information or messages you receive. That's what this is about. I think of myself as a servant to provide this information so that they can make decisions and things and heal their life, or, either them or their animals.
Mm-hmm.
And if I made this all about me, like, ooh, I gave you a good answer. Ooh, This is not good. Not good. No. So, I have fun when I'm doing readings, if it's appropriate. I'm not going to get on the phone and have somebody go, yeah, my dog died. Oh, well, let me tell you a funny story. No. I'm very appropriate, during those times. Because it's so hard to lose a pet because they're family members. Yeah. But, we got to stay out of ego. And when I was first doing this and I would get wrong information, oh, God, I was so upset. Oh, just so upset, just beating myself to death, And I was going to quit. I'd say this is like 3 or 4 years into it. And I was a mess at the time. And I was married to an alcoholic. I had all kinds of childhood issues I had no knowledge of. So I was really, so I said, I'm just going to quit because I'm not right all the time. So if I'm not right, I'm not helping. And I had one of my energy healers saying, it's not about you. And I went, oh. And they said, that's ego. If you don't want to do it anymore because you're afraid you'll get wrong answers, that's ego. And I went, oh shit, she was right. So now I'll get wrong information and I know it's wrong. And guidance to go, tell them. You got to tell them what we told you. And it's like, all right. And I'll tell them and they'll get back to me and they'll go, hey, remember that reading you did? Oh, yeah, you were the one I gave the wrong information to. They'll go, you knew it was wrong? Yes, I did. What happened? Something good happened, huh? Yes. And then they go on and tell me how that wrong information got them exactly what they wanted or had a really great positive ending. So so now it's just sort of like, I got to tell them wrong information. All right. And then I go, you guys are going to pay for this if it's wrong, if it comes out bad. And they just laugh. My guys will just laugh at me like, they're pulling one over on me. It's just fun.
That's funny. Have you ever received information during reading that completely shocked you?
Every day. Every day. No, seriously, Scott. Every day it's like, oh my goodness. The hard part for me is to not react. It's like, well, let me share this information. This is what I'm getting. And I have to be very professional and and then the people go, what? And they're just shocked. How did you know that? Just like the entralist, the horse with the entralist, and the yellow bricks. I'm still going, what the heck was that? Because they were so specific and so bizarre. You just think, that's not me. It's not my stuff. I'm just channeling the information. And everybody can do this. That's the best part of this. Everybody can do it. Everybody has the abilities. And so I just really encourage people to get my book too. It'll teach you how to do it.
Oh, yeah.
I have to read.
Yeah. What are chakras and how do you block chakras from affecting the body?
The what?
What are chakras? Can you explain chakras?
Oh, my chakras. Well, I've been doing this so long that when I ground, it's like a breath in and a breath out, and I'm grounded. And I think the only place I ever have issues is third chakra, because if somebody's going to cord you, that's where it's going to be. And so I make these handy dandy scissors and I just cut in front of third chakra and just throw back the cords. See, and I just did it. Every time I do it, I get goosebumps. So there has to be something to it, that there really are cords there. So people should do that. Just make your handy dandy scissors, cut in front of third chakra. That's solar plexus where your stomach is, and throw the cords back. And you do it with love. You know, here's your stuff. But every time I do it, I get goosebumps. So I know some kind of energy is changing, you know. So, and I do energy healing on myself all the time. And energy healing is so simple. And you do it with visualization and intention. And anybody that wants the instructions, just email me. I have to send it by email. Don't text me. Don't message me on Facebook. It has to be a freaking email, okay? Yep. And then I'm happy to send them to you. I still have people text me, hey, send me the energy healing instructions. Email me. Why? It's 4 documents. It's like 6 pages.
Yeah.
I'm not sending that in Messenger.
And it's probably PDF.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. But when people start doing energy healing, miracles happen. Absolute miracles happen. Oh my God.
I'll get it from you. If you have my email, please send to me.
I have your email.
You can transfer.
Yeah. But it really makes a huge difference. And I've had so many miracles happen with so many of my clients where they were given terminal diagnoses. And I sent them the instructions and they just worked on those instructions and just put out positive affirmations like, I'm so grateful, honored, and joyful for my perfect health. Well, if you keep saying that, you better believe it. And they'll go back for a recheck and it's like, what did you do? Whatever you had is gone. And people are shocked at it. But we have to remember disease is issues in the tissues. So we can release it, right?
All right. So you often connect emotional trauma with physical illness. When did you first notice that pattern?
When did I first notice what?
That pattern, emotional trauma with physical illness.
You know, I think it's just been a process. You know, it hasn't been like somebody hit me over the head with their magic wand. I think it's just been a process of going, oh wait. The other thing too is that one of my energy healers was really, I want to say, abusive. 4 or 5 times a day, she'd call me up. Hey, can you look at something? Can you look at something? Can you look at something? And I would. And one time she got bucked off her horse and she said, I just got bucked off. I'm in the ambulance. Can you tell me what I heard? And I'm thinking, she's in an ambulance. Why do I need to help? They're going to check her out. And I said, okay, let me ground. And I just grounded just like that. And went from head to toe, told her what tests she needed and what she heard, and nothing was broken. And so she gets to the ER and of course, horse wrecks people really take a look at because you can have broken neck from a horse wreck. And so she tells the doctor, I need this test, and this test. I've heard this, and this, but nothing's broken. And of course, you know how they are. They go, do you mind if we do our job? So then they do all the tests and everything. And, the doctor comes back and he goes, now, how did you know what was wrong? What happened? Well, my friend's an energy, she's a medical intuitive. And so she looked me over and that's what she came up with. And he goes, well, it's absolutely correct. So where is she? And they're like looking around. Oh, she did it over the phone. Oh. So, I mean, it's just amazing what'll come through if you get out of your own freaking way. I had that happen with a horse. This gal calls me and she said, I was at a vet clinic and a horse you did a reading on was there. I was just waiting my turn. and I got to tell you what happened. I said, okay. She says, the horse had every x-ray imaginable, every check imaginable. And the vet said, the only thing that I can find is a pinched nerve in the right shoulder. And the cow goes, that's what Terri said 8 months previous. And he said, who's Terri? Well, she's an animal communicator and veterinary intuitive. He said, when did she look at the horse? She did it over the phone. I goes, okay, well, she's right. And then he goes, what did she tell you to do about it? Well, she said to do chiro and AccuScope, which is microcurrent therapy. He goes, well, I recommend that, but we also want to do shockwave, which is, just another modality. So this gal who calls me for a reading, she goes to the gal, she goes, hey, do you have Terri's number? So that's how I got her, and that's how I heard about the whole thing. It was just really funny. Waited 8 months.
Yeah.
And then didn't do what I got, which was recommended. It's like they didn't trust it. And now when the vet goes, pinch nerve, right shoulder, they go, well, maybe Terri was right. So that does happen, where they just think it can't be true. Whatever I'm getting can't be true.
Right.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah. Can unresolved grief or heartbeat really manifest as a disease in your body?
Oh, gosh, yeah. They even have a medical name, and it's called broken heart syndrome, where you actually have heart attacks and problems with your heart because of unresolved grief. That's why we have to treat grief as a process, not a life sentence.
Mm-hmm.
It's really important because our cells respond to emotions. I mean, really think about this. How do you feel when you're grieving versus how do you feel when you first fall in love? Your physical body feels different, doesn't it? Mm. When we first fall in love, it's like our feet aren't touching the ground. We're lighter than air. We're so happy. We feel so great. And when we're grieving, we feel like we're wearing cement shoes. Everything's hard. I remember trying to push myself to go to stores and things, and I just wanted to curl up under merchandise. I remember feeling like that. So it can really make you sick. And a lot of people get mad at me for saying this, but it's just what I've seen. So breast cancer, lung cancer, lung diseases, and heart disease is caused by unresolved grief and loss. We can have emotions, but we can't hold on to them. And if we think about the energy of it, we have low vibration and high vibration. That's all we got. So the lowest vibration possible is fear. Well, grief is a fear vibration. There's all kinds of fear involved in grieving. And with love is the highest frequency, the highest vibration. And so we have to remember, if we think about how much we love somebody, not how much we miss them, it's like they're present. They just show up. If we say, oh, I miss them so much, they can't hear that because it's a negative. Nothing negative will go to the other side. And that's why I tell people when I get after them, they go, my grandmother died, so now she's my angel. No. That's a totally different species energetically. Well, could she be my guide? No, because once people are on the other side, they cannot perceive anything negative in the earthly realm. Right? That would be heaven if they went, oh, my family is just not doing well. No, it wouldn't be heaven, right? So only the positive, happy stuff, even on earth, in our lives right now, it can't go to the other side.
All right. Growing up, we had family friends we get together and play cards with. And we'd go back to New York once a year and we visit these friends. They were mom and dad's age. And we play cards and stuff. And the guy, the husband, he got really ill. That he got the disease where he's sick a lot, and he get forgetful a lot. So
It was Parkinson's?
yeah, because
Okay.
um, the wife wasn't real healthy, but I got an email one day saying he passed away from her, and she was just devastated.
Oh, sure.
She goes, I don't think I'll do it, Scott. I mean, we were together for like 45 years, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's a long time.
And I'm like, well, it's hang in there, Ken. Well, I got about email about 4 months later from their daughter that she passed away.
That happens. It happens. It's like they lose their desire to live. They just they're not complete without their spouse. That happens a lot.
They're always sweet on each other, hanging around, holding hands and stuff. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Well, they probably wanted to come back together next time. So many couples do that, and I see that all the time.
Yeah.
I see that all the time.
I'm messing a lot because I used to do projects in the garage, or we used to write peer programs together, and
Sure.
we had a blast. So
Yeah. It's really funny, but people on the other side a lot of times are playing cards, but they or cribbage. I see a lot of people playing cribbage on the other side.
I love cribbage.
I know, but just like they don't care. They're playing it, they're having fun, they're visiting, and they have no opinion on who's winning. None. It's so funny.
One of the dreams I had, we were playing cards again. So
yeah.
Cool.
But those are the kinds of things when I get it, and the family members go, "Oh, we always used to play cards," and it's like, "No, I'm seeing a cabin. I'm seeing a cabin, fishing, playing cards, doing puzzles." And then that's our cabin.
That is so funny you mention that because I told you that very vivid dreams and very real. What's the other word? Break out in dreams. You can do stuff in your dreams.
Yeah, but usually in dreams like that, that's a visitation.
Right. Because
that's
what is that? Match at his cabin over the last 4 or 5 weeks. I'm always up at our family's cabin.
Oh my goodness!
And having friends there.
It's really funny too, because people on the other side will show me they're in a cabin or they're on a boat. And whatever they love to do here the most is what their idea of heaven is on the other side. And like us cowgirls, oh God, the cowgirls are with their horses always.
Yeah.
When my mom died, she woke me up and she said, "I did it." And I said, "You left your body?" And she said, "Yes." And then she socked me right in my bicep. She always used to hit us right there. And I said, "Why do you hit us there?" She goes, "Because it doesn't show." You can see what a stinker my mom was. Yeah. And then she said, "It's amazing. Why didn't you tell me?" I said, "Mom, you didn't believe in an afterlife." She goes, "Well, you should have tried harder to convince me." And then she goes, "I've got your pig." What? She goes, "Remember you had a pig when you were married to Jake?" And I went, "I did." She goes, "Your pig is here waiting for you because you loved that pig. And the pig loved you." I went, "Oh my goodness." And then she starts naming off all my horses, because I've had horses my whole life. And she starts naming off my horses that I haven't thought of in 50 years. And it's like, "How do you remember?" She goes, "Well, because they tell me what their name is." And it's like, okay. Now you're talking to horses? Yeah, oh yeah, everybody here does. It was so funny. She goes, "And all your dogs are here." I said, "Are your dogs there?" She goes, "Oh yeah, of course my dogs are here." Isn't that cute? It was so wonderful. And then she started telling me, and she goes, and it's so funny how she said it. She goes, "My whole family's here." And they were a bunch of alcoholics. Seriously. And she goes like this, "They look really good." And I said, "Well, of course. Who would go to the other side and look how they did when they died?" Because she was just remembering them as they were sick and dying of cirrhosis and all that crap. Yeah. It was just funny, to get her opinion, like it's a big secret, like, "Oh, they look good." I said, you look like you're 20. "I do." I said, "Yeah, your hair is long and thick." And she was like trying to feel it. It was pretty funny.
I also dreams people who are still living,
Say again?
I also dream with people that are still living, though, too.
Well, yeah, you can do that. Sometimes there's messages in that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Sometimes.
last night I dreamed about me and my brother being at a bar.
Oh. Well, don't you do that now or no?
Or he's the state. We
Oh,
get together
he's
way
not.
back
He's
and we
not.
have yeah.
So he's
That's
not in
funny.
Ohio.
No. Yeah, we were
That's
born and
cool.
raised in PA.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had dreams of people that are alive too, and they're kind of weird. But I think the weirdest one is my first husband died, and I know it's him because he called me this stupid nickname. And you get older and you forget about the nickname, right?
Yeah.
And it was Woodsy. I don't know where he got it, but he just always called me Woodsy. And so it was so funny because, I know he's here because he'll go, "Hey, Woodsy." And it's like, where are you? Where's your energy? It's just fun. It's so fun. And I'll think of somebody that I haven't thought of in a long time. And instead of the phone ringing, it's like they're right here. And I go, "Oh, you're dead." I guess it's like occupational hazard. When I get that sign and I think of them, it's like, "Oh, you're on the other side." And it's just funny how that happens.
Yeah, it's like I'm one friend passed away. My gosh, it's been 16 years ago.
Uh-huh.
We hang out and do activities. We smoke our own beer and play cards and stuff, poker. And I probably see him at least once or twice every 4 or 5 weeks. I see him in my dreams a lot. So
Yeah, we used to
the
do some.
first time I saw him, I said, "Aren't you supposed to be dead?" I asked
You
him
should
that.
communicate with him more.
I'm like,
You
how
should
are
try and
you?
communicate with him.
I don't think you're alive. And a lot of times I'll see him in our old workplace. That's where I see him in our old workplace.
Oh wow. Yeah, it's so cool to get all these different kinds of messages. And we're all big antennas. We really are. People don't realize that behind the stomach, how you say I had a gut feeling? Well, behind the stomach is a nerve bundle. And it really acts like a microwave dish receiving information. And so when you get those gut feelings, you have to trust them. You just do.
Do you think that that's a visitation?
You mean when, if he's thinking about you and you're thinking about him and he's still alive, is that correct?
No. It says he passed.
Oh, he passed. Oh, yeah. If you guys are at a bar and playing cards, yeah, that's a visitation.
Yeah.
And you know what? You know what you should look for? Scott, look for smells and tastes. Smells and tastes really tell you if it's because if you're getting smells and tastes, then I about guarantee it's a visitation. Okay.
Yeah, because we hold conversations sometimes. It's like, so
Yeah.
do you think that it's actually him?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So what happens is you raise your vibration and he drops his down a little bit so you can sort of meet in the middle. That's
Wow,
right. That's how it happens. And that's how everybody can do it.
It gives me goosebumps.
Yeah, but it's so true. They're not gone. I know. I really think that's why I don't grieve as much as I do, because all I have to do is think about, one of my animals, and it's like I can feel one right here, right now, and her nose is stuck in my neck, and I don't even know who it is. It's Duchess, one of my halflingers, and so, I just feel them around me all the time. And sometimes even when I'm out with my horses will kind of go, and they'll look and I'll go, "Who's there?" And they'll go, "There's a horse there, but it's not got a body." So even my horses will tell me when somebody's visiting, if I'm distracted or busy or something.
Right.
Isn't that cool?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. But everybody can do it. That's the big thing. And that's why I wrote the 3 books, to teach people how to do this, because everybody has the ability, and it's just a matter of learning to ground, getting out of your own way, listening faster. That's the most important part about it, is to listen faster. And it's amazing what'll come through. And remember, it'll always only be positive stuff. That's the most important part.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna end the show. I'm gonna put a link to your book at Amazon. And also write like a follow up or for a show tonight.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah.
And it's gonna be available on, of course, YouTube. It's Facebook. It'll be on Twitch too, but it'll also be on Spotify and
Oh, good. That's
Amazon.
good.
Yeah, Prime Music. I'll be on that too.
Yeah, the more the merrier.
Yeah. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you'll send me the link, right?
Oh,
I think you already did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, thanks so much for having me, Scott. This has been really great.
Oh God, once you go through your books, I'll get you back again.
Yeah, really. I'd be happy to come back on anytime.
I had a blast. And I appreciate you so much for coming along late.
I'm happy to. If you need the other books, just email me and I'll send them to you. I'll send you the ebooks.
Oh, wonderful! That'll be wonderful.
Okay, which book did I send you? The physics of mediumship?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll send you the other 2.
Hi, Dougie.
All right. Take care.
You too.
Okay. Bye-bye.